In 3 months of making sponsored commercials, I have become more famous than 3 years of making tutorials. But as much as you think you know about the ROK guy, in this video there are 3 things you would have never guessed. 3 years ago, I started this channel covering The Last Day on Earth, which at the time was not only the best game on the mobile market, but it was functionally free to play. I worked hard and experienced a lot of success, but then the game started changing and I started to branch out. Honestly, I've had a lot of fun. I love making high quality tutorials, but I've had a huge struggle fighting against YouTube's algorithm that keeps encouraging me to post quantity over quality. My stubbornness against conforming to YouTube's system seems to have, according to my subscribers, locked me into the status of being an underrated YouTuber even 3 years later. But just before I decided that I was going to quit YouTube, Rise of Kingdoms reached out to me to do ads for them. This leads me to the first thing that you guys would have never guessed. These games are not trash mobile games as you often say they are, rather they are beginner games. I'll explain what I mean by that in just a second. I looked them up on the Play Store and they have amazing reviews for their game. I read the reviews to check and make sure that they weren't fake, and it was obvious that a lot of people really loved the game. So I did the commercials and they were a smashing success. I know some of you thought they were cheesy, and I apologize. I am earnest when I say that I tried to make them as funny as possible. But it is hard to make a 30-second commercial truly funny.
Oh babe, I'm being rated. Can you do this real quick?
Sure.
Oh, don't do it like that.
Oh, okay.
And don't move that there.
Do you just want me to drive?
Oh yeah.
But even though some of you do not think they are funny, they seem to have performed very well, which has led more and more mobile games asking for more advertisements. This has been amazing because now I don't have to worry about views on this channel. I used to be, like many other YouTubers, a slave to YouTube for my success. But now I cover what I want to cover at the quality I want to cover it. And all of this is thanks to Rise of Kingdoms and these other games that have paid to sponsor this channel. They are essentially paying for my kids' college education, thus assuaging any doubts that I had about whether or not I was wasting my time on YouTube. But as I said earlier, I have learned that these games are not bad mobile games, rather they are beginner games. I have since played a few of these games to understand them better, and they have all the basic elements of a game. Tasks, resource management, troop management, solo and team-based PvP strategies using complex number calculations. They're definitely basic compared to a game like League of Legends or Frostborn, and the game practically tells you what to do almost every step of the way, which is not my style. I enjoy the process of figuring a game out myself, but it is still definitely a game with well thought out concepts. So when you factor in that mobile gaming is the biggest growing area of gaming right now with millions and millions of new gamers every week, it kind of makes sense that the games that have all the basic elements of a game and tell you step by step what to do next are doing really well. They're basically teaching all of these millions and millions of brand new gamers how to play games. Some of you guys have been gaming for so long that you have forgotten that when we first started off, we played some kind of crappy computer games, especially if they were free. Because it isn't until you get spoiled by all of the great games in this world that you stop enjoying some of the more simple ones. Now, some of you don't have a problem with the games themselves, but rather are bothered by false advertising. Many of these advertisements use footage that are not actually in the game. I did not know this when I was first signing up with them, but after reading a lot of your comments, I went ahead and played the game, and I can see what you're talking about. However, this is a really tricky subject because most effective advertisements are fake at some level. And if it is done well, we are fine with being tricked as long as in the end, we feel tricked in the right way. Similar to how we are all grateful for a good plot twist, we are happy to be tricked into playing a game if we truly end up loving the game. So this has been a really difficult thing for me to wrestle through. On one hand, some of your complaints about the advertisements I think are silly. I thought I made it pretty obvious that I was not actually playing the game, but rather entertaining people into trying it. Furthermore, I believe that it is ultimately the responsibility of the game developer itself on how they are going to advertise the game, because it is their reputation that gets sullied when the client ends up feeling betrayed by the advertisement. And I don't feel as much responsibility as the actor who is just getting paid to do the work. On the other hand, I know what it feels like to be excited about something because of an advertisement and then be disappointed when I downloaded and tried the game. In fact, I had a similar experience recently with War of Destiny where I initially turned down the sponsorship because I told them the advertisement reminded me too much of StarCraft, which is a game that I love, and their game doesn't actually play like StarCraft. And then their response blew me away. They said, after doing a lot of research, we have learned a large number of our player base also likes Red Alert, so our advertisement is designed to reach that type of gamer. I still wasn't 100% comfortable with the advertisement, so I was very glad when they approved this script.
Some game ads aren't what they seem.
What do you mean?
It seems like this game is targeting RTS fans to try their game.
Well, babe, you love real-time strategy. You should give it a shot.
There's a free advertisement for War of Destiny. They did not pay me, by the way, to show that ad, and this is not a sponsored video in any way. The voice at the end, by the way, is actually my voice. I was pretty proud of that. War of Destiny. Download for free. So honestly, I go back and forth on this one. Ultimately, I think it is the game developer's responsibility to manage the balance of honest advertisement and not the actor, but I recognize that as an influencer, I need to be careful with what I partner with. If you have more thoughts on the subject and can communicate them intelligently without spewing hate, please put them in a comment below, as I am still wrestling through this subject. This brings us to the third thing that you guys would have never guessed. Those advertisements have led to so many hate comments. Your conspiracy theories on why we wear glasses are hilarious to me. And I don't have time to go into this whole story, but in short, it is a hereditary trait passed down from generations. I'm just kidding, but I really don't have time to explain it in this video, so ask my fans and maybe they'll tell you about it. I do like Anthony's theory though. I think he might be onto something, but I wanted to show you guys real quick what my fans think about your comments. Isn't this just social media at its finest? An entire group of people making fun of other people because they're actually mad about false advertising or something else that they want to hate on, and then an entire other group of people saying ridiculous things about and hating on that group of people for being so stupid. No two-way communication where both sides are explored, no constructive criticism or intellectual simulation, just two separate groups criticizing other groups that will never see or talk to each other. What world do we live in right now? If you have a problem with the fact that most mobile gamers are satisfied with beginner games like this, then commenting about it on Facebook isn't going to help. Meanwhile, there are probably dozens of people that you know that play beginner games like this, and if you took the time to teach them about more advanced games or how to play more advanced games, then you might actually make a difference. Then maybe Lilith Games or some of these other game companies will start making more advanced games because that will be where the money's at. Up until this point, you might not have realized that you were sitting there complaining in the midst of something very practical you can do to help. But now that you know, go do something about it. That is what this channel is about. I teach people how to play advanced mobile games. I break it down step by step to make it easy for someone that is new to gaming to play extremely advanced and complicated games. And I am ever so grateful to Rise of Kingdoms and these other games that are sponsoring this channel that allow me to do that despite YouTube's algorithms to do otherwise. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.